Hey y'all, dream I had last night. Very interesting dream. I had went to this place. It was like a old familiar place, like on the south side of Fort Worth. Somewhere around the Fort Worth. Um, it was like a party. Like I wasn't even expecting it to be a party, but like when I went up in there, it was like a it was like a party. Sorry, my back been just giving me problems for the last week. Just tight, man. From that wreck. But so yeah, man. So I'm off in there, yeah. So I'm, chilling or whatever. So they like having a party in there or something, and somebody like somebody in there trying to cause a problem with me. They trying to fight me while I'm in there, like dancing or something, like meeting different people. Um, and then a dude come up and try and fight me, but I like, I diffused the situation by not adding any fire to it. They say you can quench a man's anger or wrath. You know what I mean, by not saying it and not putting any fuel into what he's saying. You just ignore him. It'll diffuse the situation in most cases, or in some cases anyway. So I do that. Begin trying to be Christian, holy. You know what I mean, and you know. And so he left, he left or whatever. And then later on, what I'm saying, I'm still in there chilling, partying or whatever, having a good time. And then these people out of nowhere come out and they like, hey man, like they trying to fight me. They trying to fight me. They trying to hurt me or whatever. And they like, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what is y'all deal, man? What are y'all coming at me for? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's the problem? And they like, we heard about you not, you know what I'm saying, the dude came up to you trying to fight and you didn't fight him. We heard about that. We don't want that around here, you know what I'm saying? And this and that, and they started tripping on me because of that. And so I was like, what? I was like, dude. So I started trying, it's like a group of these guys. Like, it's not just one. Like, it's like, and these guys are like gangsters. Like, these guys are like gang members, gangsters type dudes, you know what I'm saying? Hood, gangster, gang member type dudes, you know what I'm saying? So they coming at me like, we heard about you, we heard they gaining up on me. I heard about you, that you ain't trying to fight back. You know what I'm saying? Like the people do try to come up to you and fight you and you wouldn't even fight them back. And I was like, man, so I started, trying to explain myself, but they just so riled up and rowdy that they can't hear me, and I'm like, hey, listen. Hey, no, listen a second, listen, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell them, hey, listen, they keep ignoring me, over talking me. I'm like, hey, listen, hey, and then one guy is with me, you know what I'm saying? It's like different, it's like a couple of people that's like with me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Supporting me, while this is going on. I think I seen one of my this older guy named Cool that I hoop with, you know what I mean, like an old guy, but he hoop with us young guys every once, like every week or whatever. But and he a real good Christian guy and stuff like that. First time I seen him in my dreams, Cool, great born again young man, you know what I'm saying? Even though he older, but he's still a young man. Shit, this is only, you know, it's only a short time we're here compared to eternity. So yeah, so he like, man, hey, hold on, listen to him, he a Christian, you know what I'm saying? He a Christian, listen to him, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he trying to tell y'all something, and I'm like, man, listen, I'm a Christian, you know what I mean? I'm a Christian. That means, my Lord tells me not to even fight. He tells me, if somebody hit you on one cheek, you turn the other cheek and let them hit you on that one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm trying to tell them, this is from my philosophy. It's not that I'm a punk, or, you know what I'm saying, that I'm letting somebody punk me, or something like that. Not being a man. I'm being a Christian. I'm being a man of God. I'm listening to God, what He says to do. And He said, leave them fools alone. Leave them fools alone. So they start chasing. So they not trying to hear it, man. They start chasing me out of there. They start chasing me or whatever. Or like oh no. So they causing all that commotion. We outside, matter of fact. So we get to being outside, and Nakeith Evans, one of my old school basketball teammates in high school. Nakeith Evans, one of my good friends, he came and he he was like, hey, like he made it like a distraction. And so, you know what I'm saying, put himself on the line too with these gangsters. He made a distraction though, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, look, he came over, he was like acting like he was cool and everything, then he like bolted off, you know what I'm saying? But he was leading the way, like he ran off, and I ran behind him, like he was like, hey, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he ran off, I ran off behind him, and then we ran like this path. He knew where he was going. He knew a short way to get out of there. So we ran. First thing we did, we ran under some covers or something. We ran under some covers or something. So that took a little bit of time for them to get through that, or you know what I'm saying. So we had a little bit of time to get through that. We ran under that. You know what I'm saying. I just was following him, so I ran under the cover, whatever that was, like under the dirt, under the cover, whatever. But ran under that. Then we got up from under that, and then we ran towards this house, and it was like the side of the house, and we had to climb up this house, but I couldn't get there alone. Nakeith had to stand at the bottom. Once we climbed up there, Nakeith had to help me the rest of the way because I couldn't jump all the way up there to get on the roof to get away. So I jumped up there. He helped me get up there, jumped on the roof, jumped up there, and ran off. And you know what I'm saying, got away from him. So then I got up. Then I started running the street. Like fast. You know what I'm saying, trying to get away from them. I took a left turn, went down this other street. It was nighttime by this time. Took this other street, and it was so crazy. My dad like was passing by at the right time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I needed to get a ride or something. I needed something. But my dad was passing by in his was it a red truck? His old pickup truck. He was riding by. So he you know what I'm saying? I flagged him. Oh, no. I ran in front of this truck. Matter of fact, I ran in front of this truck because I was trying to hide. So they was coming from, they was still coming straight. I hadn't made the left. So they were still running straight down the path, and I had made a left. And then I ran down the sidewalk, and then I ran into this truck ran in front of this truck that was parked at the time, or, it wasn't going. And but it started to go, and I was like, hey, don't run me over. I'm right here in front of your truck, you know. And then I looked up, and it was my dad, Dennis Williams II. So he was driving the truck. So I hopped in or whatever, and I'm telling him, that, man, dude, I'm like, hey, these guys are after me, man. I ain't, you know what I'm saying, and this and that, you know what I'm saying. And my dad is acting like it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? He's not acting like it's my fault, but he acting like he's not concerned that these people chasing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, that God. I'm like, hey, I'm like, Dad. I keep calling him God because that's who it was to me in the dream. I feel like it represents God. It's my father on earth. It's my earthly father, but I feel like it represents my heavenly father. And so he like, so I keep telling him, man, these people out there chasing me. They after me, this and that, and then he ends up driving, like he not saying nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like but I'm thinking in my mind, like, man, does he think this is my fault? What's up? Like, he not concerned. He don't believe me that these people are after me. What is it? So he ends up driving back to where I just ran from. He ends up driving back there, parking, and I tell him, hey, I say, and we sitting in the parking lot, and I'm like, man, hey, you just drove back where I just ran from, right in the center of where the people that was after me are. And I also, when I was in there, I was telling them too, I'm not only am I a Christian, you know what I'm saying? Am I in y'all gang? Like, I don't owe y'all nothing. I don't owe nothing to y'all. I don't owe to be hard for y'all. You know, I don't have to beat nobody up for y'all. I don't have to do nothing for nobody. I like, am I in y'all gang? Like, why y'all worried about what I'm doing? Who I'm fighting and who's fighting me or who trying to fight me? Like, well, I'm not associated with y'all. So why, like, I'm not part of y'all. So why y'all worried about my behavior, what I do? You know, that's what I was telling them too. So yeah, so he parks right next to them, you know, right next to the house. Again, it's daytime again by this time. Now it's daytime. He parks by them, and uh, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, so I put my blanket on. I put a blanket over me, you know what I'm saying, to cover to cover me from the people that's walking past us, you know what I'm saying, to keep walking past us, you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about this a whole bunch of gangsters and shit. I don't know, man. It's like all kinds of people I seen, like on a Italian, you know what I'm saying, like some mob people seem like, you know what I mean, like it just people, you know, they all working together trying to find me and shit. So I'm like, so then I'm like, I get uncomfortable in that truck, and I'm like, Dad, you put me right in the center of them, you know what I'm saying? So I run off from there. I go into a house. I go into a house while I'm there. I go into a house, and in this house, my kids are in there. My kids are in there. You know what I'm saying? But this house is like an apartment, like an upstairs apartment, I think, two or something like that. But I see my kids, and so the people still coming after me or whatever. So my kids, they got my son. He got the door open, you know, and I'm like, hey, close the door. But it's like this one guy, this black guy, came up the stairs, and because it was like some kind of little wooden gate or something around the door, you know what I'm saying? But like